Hello, honorable judges and worthy opponents. My name is Tony, and today I'll be going for that this house supports the use of cryptocurrencies financial transactions. First, let's talk about the meaning of a digital currency, of a cryptocurrency. A cryptocurrency is a digital currency in which transactions are verified and records are maintained by a decentralized system using cryptography. First, I'll be talking about protecting the user's privacy. Second, the second speaker of the affirmative will talk about the protection from inflation. And lastly, the last speaker will talk about will summarize the entire group. First, let me talk about protecting a user's privacy. So, while cash transactions are shared with the bank and protected by verified and backed by recognized government entity, cryptocurrencies are less traceable and cannot be easily traced by third parties. So, cryptocurrencies use an app called blockchain, which essentially makes an upgrade to their privacy and protecting the user's privacy and their transactions to other users. And blockchains are a database that maintains a list of ordered records or blocks, and blocks are linked by cryptography, and each blocks are also maintained by a system in an app by a system in its server database that essentially records all of your data and users and transactions into one central CPU, which will essentially store all of your data and information. If your database is traced, the blockchain can essentially ban the third-party users from entering those privacies and those memories that you have and transactions that you have in your user's account or database. Blockchain essentially multiplies as a double security check for your account. So if third parties manage to find out your account or your password, blockchain essentially makes up the password as another account verification for other emails or other alternative ways for the user that you trusted can log in to your trusted account. Thank you for listening.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to talk about the motion. This house supports the rise of the use of cryptocurrencies in financial transactions. So I'm going to rebut to the first speaker of the affirmative team. So he claimed that blockchain is supported by AI and you can't hack into it. But did you know in the cryptocurrency is in a circle, the blockchain, and when we translate the money to other accounts, we could see how much you have, how much the other accounts have, and by that fact you can see their how much money they have. So then your inside you will feel that you want to take the other person's money, so then you will try to scam them. So I'm going to define cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a digital currency, and it's a form of payment using algorithms. Secondly, I'm going to define financial transactions. A financial transaction is when you buy or sell or transfer money to different accounts. So I'm going to talk about accessibility and technological barriers. My second speaker is going to talk about scams and it's not balanced. My third speaker is going to talk about environment and illegal activities. So let's go into my point. Accessibility and algorithm and technological barriers. Cryptocurrencies require a stable internet connection to transfer and access wallets or exchanges. So, an example is if you didn't bring your wallet to restaurants and you eat a lot of food in the restaurant, if you don't have a good internet connection, you cannot pay with cryptocurrencies. So then, if you didn't bring your wallet or something, you cannot pay for your meal, and it will lead to you could be arrested or do chores. So, thank you for listening.
Right.
Dear Honorable Judge, my worthy opponent, and my beloved teammate, I'm the second speaker of Affirmative team. In my debate, you will expect my rebuttal and point. First of all, let's hop onto my rebuttals. So, as the previous speaker from the negative team has said, if you're eating in a restaurant and there's no Wi-Fi to do, then how are you supposed to pay, even if you don't bring your wallet? So I agree with you, but right now in 2024, we have 4G or in the restaurant internet, which mostly restaurants always have. Next is hotspot. Also, if you also bring your phone, you could also use Apple Pay to pay for your bills. Also, and for Samsung and Android, we could use Visa. Now let's hop on to my point. So for the first one is the transition speed. So what does that mean? It means that when you're paying for something, the transfer of money is very fast. It could take from a few minutes to an hour, or maybe sometime to 3 to 5 days, or at least 24 hours. It also depends on the money, how large it is. Next is for the bills. If you're worrying or you have a short memory, you could, while you're paying for what you're buying, that could also help you to showing the bill list of what is your previous order. That will pop up on your screen every time you pay for something. Next is transaction. So if you're wondering if the seller that you're trying to buy is a scammer or not, it's alright because every app these days, they have the ability to warn you if that's illegal or not, or if the seller was being or telling the truth. Thank you for listening. I will rest my case here.
Good morning, the judges, the audience, the opponent team, and my team debate. I'm the second speaker in the negative teams, and now I want to rebut the second speaker in the affirmative teams. So they say that if in the 2024 we have the 4G and 5G already, so if we don't have the connections, so we will have the 4G too. But do you know that if to have the 4G, you need to have another network? If that network didn't work, so it will lose all of the 4Gs. And for example, in the hometowns, we will have less network. In the cities more, because the city is more than the hometowns, so it will have more network. But if you go to the hometown, it's very less people and don't have any network to use the 4G too. So how can you pay the bills to go to eat or using the cryptocurrencies. And one more thing is when you're going, if you don't have the internet and connect in there, so the AI in the cryptocurrency it won't have, and other can hack to your cryptocurrency tools. And let's go to my point. So first, it connect to my point is scammings. The cryptocurrency have a lot of the scam already, and it's fortune stream. They could scam by Ponzi. Ponzi means that some of projects have high risk, but they say that it just have a low risk and you will have a more money from it. But it's a scamming, and they will take all of your monies. You won't know is this true or false. Some people they won't know it and they didn't learn about it, so they will give the monies. The biggest, for example, the biggest loss in 2018, have a person have Ponzi in another people, and it cost to 10 million Vietnam dong already, and it's a very large money. They have using the Ponzi stream and using it to take out the monies, and it's not you think that the cash is not safety than the cryptocurrency, but it's true. But sometimes the cryptocurrency we can scam them too, and not every single thing can be easy for safety, and sometimes we can scam too. And for my next point, sometimes the cryptocurrency have balance. They don't balance and they go up and down all the time. When you are customer or business, it's always changing and they don't stop in the place. So if you're a customer, you're buying other things, but the cryptocurrency always go up and down and they don't in the same exactly one place. So when you change it to other people, the money or buying something, so it will always go up and down and you don't know which money or it's the exactly cryptocurrency you need to pay them. And sometimes it go lower and the business say that you need to pay more for them, and the customer very angry because the cryptocurrency always go up and down. If they go down more, so they need to pay more cryptocurrency for the business. And for example, the Bitcoin. In the Bitcoin is in the right now it's at 1 billion and 200, but in 2 more hours they have say that it's at 1 billion and 500 already, and it always changing. It don't stop in the exactly, so it will make the customer and business is confused about it. Thank you for listening.
As a developing of technologies and the computers, the rise of cryptocurrencies is inevitable. Dear educators and fellow debaters, I'm the third and the final speaker of the affirmative side that we support the rise of the cryptocurrencies. And as a third speaker, I would like to strengthen my rebuttals of my second speaker and rebut the second negative speaker. And now let's move on to my rebuttals. The first of the negative team speakers say that the accessibility and the algorithm, and it requires stable internet connections. And he gives the example that you didn't bring the money to the restaurant, you didn't bring the wallet to the restaurant, and you don't have the internet connections. How can you pay for the food? And then the second negative speaker rebut against my speaker is 4G and 5G. If we go to the hometown, we don't have 4G and 5G. But this example is absolutely irrelevant to the topic. We are talking about the rise of cryptocurrency. We are not talking about the payment. We are not talking about we are paid for the restaurant. So, and also the second speaker of the negative team say about the scamming, but she didn't provide any specific examples. But this is absolutely untrue, because did you guys know NFT, the non-fungible tokens, which is protected by the blockchain, which is prevent a lot of hackers, and it's guaranteed the secure for the users. And also other teams say that it can go up and down, the value of the cryptocurrency, but what is it? What's the problem? Because money, physical money, the tangible money also have a rise in the value and low down the value. So that's also not the difference at cryptocurrencies. And now let me move on to my summarize. My first speaker talked about the secure and privacy. And it can record all of your data, your past transactions, and the blockchain can prevent the third-party attack the users. And my second speaker talked about the transaction speed, the transfer money that fast, and we can do transactions anytime, anywhere, and the better accessibility of the cryptocurrencies. And according to the Deloitte, a big increase in amount using Bitcoin for organizations and business. Roughly 2,352 US business accept using Bitcoin for the investment and transaction purpose. But why? Because they realize that this is really efficient and secure for using the cryptocurrency, such as my example above is NFT. And the cryptocurrency brings the convenience and the cost effective, also the privacy and the secure for the users. So why would we not accept the rise of cryptocurrency? And we remind you again the motions that we just support the rise. We are not declining the use of physical money. We can pay for the restaurant by using physical money, but we still advocate the rise of cryptocurrency, that it provides the people more secure and transactions platform. Thanks for listening. I rest my case.
Dear judges, worthy opponent teams, and my fellow debaters, I'm the third speaker of the negative teams, and we strongly disagree to the motions of that this House support the risings of cryptocurrencies in financial transactions. I would like to rebuttal the first speaker, the second speaker, and the third speakers of the opposition teams. The first speaker claims that blockchains offer a really safe environment for the users and protecting the user privacies. But if the user didn't do any illegal stuff, why wouldn't they want anyone to know their identities? Also, cash transactions and internet banking also provide a very safe verifications. It's passcode and phone code, and that is based on the users if they want to leak their identities or not. Second is the second speakers. They rebut the examples of my first speakers by saying that the restaurants will have Wi-Fi's and 4Gs and 5Gs. But actually, for popular restaurants, then they will have a reconnections because of the popularities and the lack of abilities. Also, they said that AI can warn you whether your account is hacked or not, so that people usually believe in those warning and cautions. But actually, how do you know that those warning and cautions are true? How do you doesn't know that those are just hackers faking to be AIs in your programs? The rebuttal for the third speakers, they claim that our examples are irrelevant, and they claim about requires stable internet connections. But actually, what is the financial transaction purpose? Isn't it for transactions needed of humans? Also, they said that preventing the third parties from invading our privacies. What is the third party in this case? Isn't it the cops, the police, and the hackers? Preventing everyone, which is also preventing for legal stuff and security needed. Now let's jump into my point. My point is about support legal concern. The widespread of cryptocurrencies and in financial support in financial transactions is anonymous, and this website is completely controlled by AIs and websites. There's no human behind, and this also provide a very safe environment for the identities. But without the identities being shown and without knowing the names or the passcode or the passport of the users, how do we know that they're doing safe legal activities, such as they can do money laundering, which is a case where people using gambling monies or illegal monies and then washed it to become legal money, and then we can use it in normal transactions. Also, next one is tax evasions and drug sellings, and that are some illegal stuff that police. It will provide a harder environment for the police to find down and track down the identities of the users. Also, cryptocurrencies operate blockchain where the transactions or the transactors could transact without any identifications, which could lead to cross-border transactions, such as illegal money, or there's a thing called dark webs, and it is being very overused these days, said that such as dark web only provides certain browsers, such as Tor, and that have been becoming the roots of certain activities like weapon selling, human trafficking, which is selling illegal stuff, and pictures of humans. Also, I would like to use the examples and the evidence of Texas and U.S. criminal activities. They have used the techniques of money launderings, and they had made the countries in the U.S. bank to lose more than 2.4 billion US dollar, and that is very much dollars because U.S. now are nearly in a state of bankruptcies. And now I would like to summarize my team points. The first speakers of my teams claims that accessibilities and technological barriers. My second speaker had talked about scam and unbalanced. Me, the third speaker, is gonna talk about illegal activities. And in conclusionally, my team strongly disagree to the motions of this house support that cryptocurrency should rise in financial transactions by the previous factors being mentioned. I rest my case and thank you for listening.
The interesting topics, a strange topic, right? Now in USA also, in Donald Trump or some of the other president candidates, so they discussing about this kinds of topic, and then very hot in the topic in USA also. I mentioned about the two students, for the Bob and Suri. The best speaker of affirmative team is Bob, and one of the best speaker of negative team is Suri. And David has a different opinion. I'll explain first. And Bob mentioned about the values, and so yeah, it was very good approaching to talking about the strategy, but it should be talking about a little bit more in detail about the values. So how we can how the cryptocurrency can getting some essential values, and then for our using for the money. So how we can replace the money for the cryptocurrency is need to talking about the core value. This values is for example, this dollars is based on for the power of USA. So based on for the power of military power or their culture or their technology, every power is from the country. They came from that power. So how the cryptocurrency is getting power from which kinds of things is now the cryptocurrency we can getting some from energy, especially for the electric energy. That is kinds of the core source is to connect to value. So how you can elaborate the value from the energy and the electricity, and then if you can connect with them, and then you can get the more better point for that. But it was very good approach for the mention about the value. And for the three is more focusing on the criminal and how we can be harmful for the criminal. So using for the focusing on the and then giving some evidence for the how we can using that cryptocurrency for the criminal, and then it's very vulnerable for the hacking, and then vulnerable from because we will improve the AI technology in the future, and then people will using AI technology to making the hacking. So it's more, we feel that it's safe enough, but in the future maybe it will be dangerous to be hacking, and then using for the many criminal the purpose. So mention about the essential usage or value of the money. It's the role of the money is to using for the right way, and then to use for the not using for the dark side. But this cryptocurrency is too much easy to using for the dark side because of the lack of identity. It was that was very nice point. It was crucial point for the vulnerability of the cryptocurrency. So I want to giving the best speaker for here. the negative team is for the 3, and best speaker, the affirmative team, is Bob. So, maybe the next.
The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that, as I recognize, the first 2 speakers is the first speaker of the affirmative team and the first speaker of the negative team. When you are out of ideas, don't just go stop and say that's the end. You gotta find more evidences, or you need to come up with rebuttals. Rebuttal is mean that you making your argument stronger by rebutting the other team point. That way, not only you have more time to talk, but also your value of your points will be more correct and precise. That's the first thing. The second of all, there are a lot of like vocabs that you guys could use. Like said, ups and downs, like Sammy said. You can say about fluctuation, that's the first word, or liquidity. These are the 2 common words in cryptocurrency that are representing some basic words and some rudimentary words like you guys have said. Next, about my choice for the best speaker. So the best speaker of the affirmative team will be Bob, and the negative team will be Sammy. The reason why is, first of all, the negative speaker, Sammy, you have great contention, and your contention is very strong from the example to the argument, and your rebuttal is actually pretty good. So I would give you the best speaker. Bob, however, there's one common thing that I want to tell you. You cannot go up to debate and set the oppositional team points are irrelevant. You gotta prove it. You can't just go there and just say your points are relevant. That is a fallacy, because when you said that, the judges would fact check the points that you have, but if the oppositional team have points that are relevant, then your team could be minus down and degraded your point. That's the first thing. So before you talking about irrelevant, you need to make sure, you need to point out the relevancy between the oppositional points and the points that should have been mentioned in the motion. Bob, you have great contention, you have great voice, great intonation. However, your points didn't support that much. This one I quite question here is, you talk about bring convenience and cost effective. However, you haven't given us an actual explanation and where are the examples, right? That wasn't from your teammate's point. That was your own point. Yet you haven't given us a fully explanation, which is quite sad because I wanted to hear more from you. And yeah, that's all.
Okay, so we announced the winning team. The winning team is
The negative team.